Rapunzel and the Chocolate Cakes by Julia and Naomi.
Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a girl called Rapunzel. She had the longest flowing honey golden locks and the sweetest singing voice. Her only weakness was chocolate cake. Upon her 16th birthday, she began dating the handsome prince of a neighboring kingdom. One day, she and the prince were craving chocolate cake, so having nothing better to do than sunbathe on the beach, the prince set out to find the most delicious chocolate cake in all the land.
But what he did not know was that this cake belonged to an evil witch. He snuck into the witch's dark and spooky mansion and took the cake. Then he brought it home to Rapunzel.
Upon finishing the last crumbs of the cake, a black cloud of smoke appeared in the room, and out stepped the witch. "Fools, you dare to steal the cake of Samantha, and to eat it! I shall lock you in a tower for 100 years for stealing my prize cake. How dare you!" yelled the witch. She raised her staff and began a chant in some ancient forgotten language. She then smashed her staff into the ground, and they all disappeared in a puff of smoke.
They appeared in a tall tower, but it was no ordinary tower. It was made of gingerbread. "I will leave you here, locked in this tower, for 100 years. There are no doors you can escape from, and if you try to climb out the window, my dragon will eat you." "Ha ha ha!" the witch cackled, then vanished into a puff of smoke. "Oh, what will we do?" wailed Rapunzel. "My mother's dog is turning too. There's going to be a big party. I must be there. Whatever shall we do if I miss it? My mother will be so mad. Oh, and look at my clothes. They're all ruined. Everything's going horribly today." The prince hugged her. "It will be all right, Rapunzel."
2 days later, they still had not figured out a way to escape from the tower walls. Just then, the dragon roared out the window, and Rapunzel burst into tears and collapsed on the floor. Suddenly, the prince had a brilliant idea. "Oh, strong and mighty dragon, what big teeth you have, and what shiny scales, and your claws are so long. Would you like a taste of this tower, oh mighty fire claw? It would fill your empty stomach. If you could just first lift us out, we would be ever so grateful, and in return we will let you have our tower for a snack," suggested the prince. "Have you gone mad?" cried Rapunzel. "You'll probably eat us and the tower together, and besides, everyone knows dragons only eat meat and not gingerbread houses, not to mention towers," she added in a whisper. "I surely do not want to be eaten by a beast, especially a dragon," she shouted. "Rapunzel, just be quiet and go along with my plan," the prince whispered. He turned back to Fireclaw. He was looking at Rapunzel with one great green eye. "Clever girl," said Fireclaw lazily. "You can see what a fearsome beast I am, and I would like to eat you, but the witch would be so mad. Also, I have never tasted such a sweet treat that this tower is built of. Maybe this is your chance to try something new," suggested the prince. "Go on, take a bite of the wall, but first, please let us down, oh fierce beast."
"I might," said Fireclaw. "I will see if this will satisfy my taste. If I like it, I will let you down, but if not, you will stay in this tower." Fireclaw nibbled at the very tip of the tower roof. A few chunks of gingerbread fell from the top of the roof, and a few crumbs slipped into Rapunzel's hair. She grabbed the prince in fright. Fireclaw made a strange coughing noise, and then licked some of the icing off. "Oh, this is the most wonderful treat I have ever tasted, even better than Harry Potter, but Samantha made me cough him up." He bit down a piece of the wall and ate it hungrily. "Now will you allow us to ride on your back, O menacing Fireclaw?" asked the prince. "Yes, as long as you allow me to escape with you," said Fireclaw. Samantha forced me to work with her under a death threat. It is insulting to a dragon of my importance." At this, Fireclaw threw back his head and roared. "Sure, let's go before she comes back," said the prince, leaping out of the gap in the wall and onto Fireclaw. "I can't, it's so high up," Rapunzel whispered, and cowered against the tower wall. The prince sighed and grabbed her hand. And pulled her onto Fireclaw's back, waiting for him to lift off. "Take us away!" shouted the prince. Rapunzel shrieked as Fireclaw unfolded his massive wings and flew back off into the woods. Rapunzel turned around and caught a glimpse of a of black smoke floating after them. To their terror, the evil witch was back again, and this time chasing them. The witch was following us. "Oh, we're gonna die! We're gonna die! That dreaded witch is gonna catch us! Oh, we're gonna die!" cried Rapunzel. "Go faster, Fireclaw! Hurry! We mustn't be captured again!" cried the prince. "I can't! This is the fastest I can go!" snapped Fireclaw. Rapunzel looked back at the witch, who was catching up to them. The witch raised her hand, and a bolt of magic flew past Rapunzel's head. Another bolt came flying. "I can't keep flying! I need to land!" gasped Fireclaw, who was beginning to lurch from side to side. "Hold on! We're going down!" Fireclaw crashed to the ground in a small clearing in the thick forest. The prince and Rapunzel slid off the dragon's back. "I have you now," cackled Samantha. "Face my army of chocolate cakes." She began to chant a spell. From all around them shapes began to rise. They turned dark, and suddenly they realized they had an army of dark chocolate cakes all around them. Rapunzel cowered against the prince. She watched as the moist, warm cakes surrounded them, and their smells took over her. But the prince was quick to think, and spotted the dragon. "Fireclaw, come quickly. Help us. Eat these cakes." "They are even sweeter than the tower was," called the prince. Fireclaw leapt in front of them, and snapped up a few cakes from the army. And before the royal couple knew it, all the cakes were gone, and the witch was left trembling. "Yummy!" said Fireclaw. They jumped on the dragon and pulled the witch with them, dropping her off in the newly rebuilt gingerbread tower. They all cheered, for Samantha would be locked in the tower forever. Fireclaw flew Rapunzel and the prince up to a castle high in the clouds. They lived there happily ever after. The end.